What's up, you guys? Welcome to Discount Final Girl. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Hope you're having an amazing day. If you're new here, my name's Jess, and I like to talk about movies that make you want to sleep with the lights on. First off, I just want to say thank you for so much love on my X review. I cannot believe how much love that it's getting and how many new friends that we have to join us. So if you're new here, welcome. I really appreciate you joining, and I hope you stick around. I still can't believe there are so many of you guys who just want to listen to me talk about things that I love, but I sincerely appreciate it and would not be here without your support. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. With all the mush out of the way, let's talk about some gore. It would be extremely difficult to find a film series that gave me as many irrational fears as Final Destination. If you're not familiar with Final Destination, the franchise consists of 5 films that are all set around a small group of people who escape impending death after one individual has a sudden premonition and warns them. After avoiding their deaths, the survivors are killed one by one in bizarre accidents caused by an unseen force, creating complicated chains of cause and effect. If she hasn't seen a Final Destination movie,
she's too young for you, bro!
The first film in this franchise came out in 2000, with the latest coming out in 2011. However, it was just announced that HBO would be partnering with New Line Cinema to hopefully reboot this classic series, and I cannot wait. And while these films couldn't be considered Oscar-worthy, I know we're all in agreement when I say that they have some of the most brutal and ridiculous deaths we've ever seen on screen. Kind of off topic, but have y'all ever watched that series 1,000 Ways to Die that was on Spike TV? I feel like whenever the writers ran out of ideas for the deaths, they just watch this show and totally plagiarize because the deaths are just ridiculous. But while some deaths are just that, ridiculous, some have been burned in my brain and even altered the way that I approach certain situations. So I thought it would be fun to sit down with you guys and talk about my top 10 favorite deaths from the Final Destination franchise. Let's start with number 10 and work our way down to number 1, which will be my favorite. Number 10 on my list goes to Wendy's roller coaster premonition in Final Destination 3. I have been terrified of roller coasters ever since I was a little girl, and this just solidified the fact that I will absolutely never step foot on one. I have a fear of things that can fall out from underneath me. Planes, elevators,
roller coasters.
I just don't trust humanity enough to build something that's not going to kill me. But I think this scene is so terrifying to me because I had already had this fear, and watching it on screen made it 10 times worse. Number 9 goes to Olivia's laser eye surgery in Final Destination 5. Although Olivia does not technically die until she falls out of that glass window, it's the build-up to that death that makes me squirm. Everybody has that thing that they just don't like to see be messed with. Hands, feet, toes. Mine is eyeballs. I have the absolute worst eyesight. I wear contacts every single day. I mess with my eyes a lot, but I probably will never get laser eye surgery because of this scene. And that's really sad. So, thanks Final Destination. You ruined a good eyesight for me for the rest of my life. Appreciate that. Number 8. The tanning bed disaster in Final Destination 3. This is one of the biggest ones that people think about whenever they hear Final Destination. In a generation where everyone and their mama went to the tanning bed every single day, this scared the shit out of a lot of people. Listen, I was rooting for Ashley and Ashlyn. I think they deserved way better than that, but I'm happy that their death was so iconic. And as ridiculous as it is, this is the reason why I have never gone and will never go to a tanning bed. Number 7's gonna have to go to Hunt having his guts sucked out of his anus by the pool drain in Final Destination 4. Just saying that sentence makes me cringe. Oh god. Also, I know that the 4th movie in the franchise is just called The Final Destination, but for this video's sake, I'm just gonna call it 4. Hunt's death in the pool is one that I know is completely irrational, but I don't ever want to come anywhere close to finding out. Number 6 is Alex's Flight 180 premonition in the first Final Destination. As someone who is petrified of flying, seeing this absolutely did not help. My feet were just not meant to leave what Mother Nature provided. This is the scene that started it all, and in my opinion, one of the most disturbing. Number 5, gymnastics gone wrong in Final Destination 5. This is the one that will probably make a lot of people's top 10 list, and will even probably be in that number 1 spot. Candace letting go of that bar during her gymnastics routine results in one of the most brutal and shocking deaths in the entire franchise. It didn't reach the top of my list just because I can't specifically relate to that situation, but it still shocked me enough to where I almost always have to look away from the TV whenever that event comes on in the Olympics. Number 4 is gonna have to be Nick's premonition of Lori getting sucked in the escalator. I'm almost upset that this was not an actual death because it is such a unique idea. Every single time I get on an escalator, I think about this and my anxiety just skyrockets. Yes, it's irrational, but damn if it doesn't scare the hell out of you. Number 3 is gonna be Aaron's death by nail gun in Final Destination 3. I think this one is so disturbing because they set it up so you think that Aaron's boyfriend Ian is actually the one who's going to die. This also plays into my eyeball thing, and I just think that would be one of the most painful ways to go. Number 2, poor Nora's decapitation by elevator in Final Destination 2. Elevator deaths are common in horror movies, but watching it happen to this unproblematic woman who just watched her son die brutally is just really unnecessary. And if I wasn't scared of elevators enough, this was just the icing on the cake. I know I'm not doing my anxiety any favors by watching movies like this, but apparently I love to torture myself. Number 1. You were all waiting for it. You were probably wondering where on my list this would fall, but did you expect it to make it to number 1? I'm talking, of course, about the logging truck premonition in Final Destination 2. This made me not want to get into a car ever again. Perhaps one of the most iconic scenes in the whole Final Destination franchise. The impact that this scene had on society, it's crazy because every time I see one of these trucks, there's nobody behind it. Nobody. There's like a really good gap of space. And like that person that's driving behind the truck is like paying attention because everybody is scarred from this scene. And to make it scarier, this premonition from 2003 actually came true in 2021. Thankfully, nobody was hurt, but a TikTok video went viral last year showing a log that had smashed through the windshield of a car, and you can actually hear somebody in the background saying, "This is just like Final Destination." So do not ever tell me that this cannot happen because it can, and it's fucking terrifying. Just the cultural impact this had on everybody, nobody I know would go near one of those bad boys. There you have it, you guys. That is my top 10 list of favorite deaths from the Final Destination franchise. What'd you think? Did I miss any that were on your list? I'm curious to see if people prefer the more realistic deaths or the more outrageous deaths. Because I feel like the franchise is just known for the ridiculousness of it, but also some of them are like really hard to watch. So I'm curious. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up, but if you want to make my day, just hit that subscribe button. Thanks again for watching, you guys. I'll see you next time. Stay creepy.